Welcome back everybody, this is Grace. Today we're doing another Yulgar only video. Specifically, we're going to be taking on the first part of the Final Solstice quest. If you're doing this in the future, you won't find the Final Solstice quest here in today's events, but you'll find it in Warlock's quests. It'll be right here below Rubicon March. With that being said, Yulgar only is a series where... Yulgar only is a series where I do quests that have meta items, or powerful items, or tricky bosses with gear that anyone can access without doing any quests. So these shops that you can access are like Yulgar's shop, or Warlock's shop, or the Haven Neko shop. And the reason I do these is so that it's a guide that anyone can follow no matter what kind of gear they have. All this gear is either from Yulgar's shop, or the Haven Neko shop, or somewhere else. With that being said, we're going to get started. I'm going to skip most of these and speed up and mute the audio for these normal monster fights. And when we get to the boss, I'll explain some easy ways to beat it. One thing to note about this character is that this character is only training about a third of its stats. So with your character, you should train more stats, but I'm doing it with low stats just to show how easy this quest is. I'll see you at the boss. Alright, so here we are at the boss monster. This guy is pretty easy. He doesn't do all that much difficult stuff. He does have a couple mechanics. He has a plot armor effect, which means you can't nuke him. You have to do damage to him slowly, turn by turn. And it also, his plot armor actually changes. It gets larger and higher depending on which mode he's in. Each mode has he changes when he uses SP attack. He goes from aggressive to defensive. Another mechanic he has is he inflicts bleed on his basic attacks. However, it's a pretty weak bleed, so usually you don't have to worry about this. You can rock any dark armor with any dark misc. Liquid Courage is a very easy one to pick up from the Haven shop. But as you can see, his plot armor is doubled now. It went from about 450 to about 900. Also, he can damage your mana and your SP, but it really doesn't matter that much. He doesn't do huge mana damage, so even if you're a mage, you probably won't have any issues. With that being said, we are going to just basic attack him down. when he does his next SP attack, he should go back to his defensive mode. Again, not that it'll really matter. Calms down and focuses on defense, bites us to bleed. If you are struggling with this quest, or with other quests in general, I highly recommend training Endurance as a secondary stat. Endurance doubles your HP bar, so it gives you a lot of leeway. However, this boss is easy enough if you come with the right gear that you can do it with just one stat. So I recommend Endurance if you struggle with things like this, but if not, anything will work. Okay, and so just like that, we are pretty much done with him. He should die in about 1 turn or 2 turns. Turned out to be 1 turn. I find this boss pretty easy. What you'll see next is the item reward. Also, in case you're curious, the reason I click slowly through the dialogue is so that if I ever want to go back and read a quest, I don't have to play through the whole thing, I can look at it in my recording. Alright, here we go. So this is the big ticket item here, the Praetorian Warlock armor. What it is a fire spellcaster lean armor, and spellcaster lean of course makes your spells do a lot more damage, 1.375 times more damage. And this also has an ability to get some celerity, to heal your mana, and just to do a lot of fire damage. So many mages really like this armor. With that being said, that's the video. Hope you have a great day. Let me know if you have any questions or need any help, or have a request for me to do a different specific quest. I'll see you later. Spread some peace and love. Bye bye.